Hi, I'm Shaking Gaming. Today I want to talk about the game mechanic speed in Marvel Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force is a turn-based game, and if you get more turns than your opponent, well, then you win. At least there's a good chance that you'll win. And if you can get more turns in the beginning of a fight, that's even better, increasing your chances to win even more. Speed is the overall most important factor in getting turns in Marvel Strike Force, but there's other mechanics as well. I'll go over them in this video. Drax is the slowest character in the game with a base speed of 66, shown here. I'll use him as an example, together with the fastest character in the game, Black Widow, who with a maxed passive skill goes up to 155 speed. I have only gotten her passive to level 4, so that's why it's a bit lower. The average speed of characters in the game is 102, and to get a turn in a fight in Marvel Strike Force, a character needs to complete, so to speak, 1000 speed steps before they get a turn. In other words, that means Black Widow with a speed of 155 needs to do 6.5 repetitions of her speed, while Drax needs to do 15 repetitions to get a turn. Actually, that means that Black Widow gets her second turn before Drax has even reached his first turn, which isn't that bad because Drax is a tank that taunts from spawn, so he will be slower to losing the taunt. I've gone ahead and made some calculations to show this, how it works. Here at 1 is the base speed, Drax with 66, Black Widow with 155, and 102 for the average character in the game. Each repetition shows how far they progress towards getting their first turn. And you can see when Black Widow gets her first turn, Drax isn't even halfway. And when Black Widow gets her second turn, Drax is near getting his first turn, but he is not yet there. And if you go all the way to the third turn for Black Widow, Drax isn't even on halfway to his second turn. The average character will be around 1 turn behind when Black Widow reaches her third turn. That's the principle of base speed and how fast a character gets a turn based on base speed. But there's a lot of methods in the game to manipulating speed. The two most basic ones are speed up and slow. We can exemplify them by Black Widow first. She applies speed up to self and some other characters as well. When she speed up, that character's base speed will be increased by 50%. Quake can slow targets. When a target is slowed, it loses 50% of the base speed and thus become a lot slower. If we go back to the chart, I've made another one where I have taken the average character and applied slow and speed to them to see the difference. And you can see the average character in the game with speed up is roughly as fast as Black Widow, as long as she doesn't have speed. while applying slow to a character actually makes the average character in the game slower than Drax. And that shows how powerful slow and speed is in a turn-based game. Those were the two simplest ways of manipulating how fast you get a turn based on speed. But there are other methods if we go back in the game. First example, Loki. His passive gives him on spawn speed bar. This means 15% speed bar at spawn means that he doesn't need to take 1000 steps to get his first turn. He only needs to do 850 speed steps. But this only has an effect on turn 1. But that's still very powerful because it makes him go faster than other characters. Another way to manipulate the base speed can be shown by looking at Daredevil. Daredevil applies an increased speed to himself, much like Black Widow, but at the same time he applies that speed increase to all defender allies on his team, thus making their speed faster as long as Daredevil is on the field together with them. Another way to manipulate when a character gets a turn is by turn meter removal or turn meter gain. Shield operatives basic change the speed bar of the target that she hits with 25% on a crit. She is one of the characters that does that, meaning effectively making the character she hits lose 250 speed steps. Falcon, on the other hand, he does the opposite. He changes the speed bar for himself and all allies with 25% plus 10% for each enemy with a positive effect. This gives a huge amount of turn meter and can even go past the 1000 speed steps and thus have an effect on the following turn as well. Remembering all these mechanics and base speeds for every character in the game will give you a big advantage in every fight. But with so many characters in the game and more coming, it's very difficult to keep an overview and to remember everything if you just have to memorize it. That's why I've made a speed guide, where on the one side I have taken the base speed of every character in the game, from the fastest, Black Widow, down to the slowest, Drax, and labeled them with a dot and color showing what mechanics works on them, which characters often have speed up, which are faster with synergy, and which get speed bar filled with synergies or skills. On the right hand side I have calculated the turn order of the first turn in every fight, given that the proper team compositions have been made with 3 or 4 Brotherhood allies. Magneto will always go first in every fight. With the right setup, Black Panther will go second, and so on. But it's all depending on the right team compositions. For example, Wakanda's must be with Shuri because she increases their speed. If Black Panther isn't with Shuri, he would have a different order in the first turn. Defenders together with Daredevil, as I said before. But you can use this speed guide as a reference whenever you're in doubt. That's the basic mechanics explained, but there's a lot of synergies that are harder to explain or will take a lot longer. This is just the short version to explain how it works, the basics. There's a link in the description where you can always go and find the latest version of my speed guide. And you're welcome to subscribe or hit the like button or comment if you want to see more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching.